Attention, this is a matter of national security. After a meteorite crashed into the New Jersey Turnpike, the following digital audio transmission from the You Watch I Listen podcast was intercepted by NASA scientists in the year 2019. The You Watch I Listen podcast is about to start. Sit down, listen close, and try not to die. The You Watch I Listen podcast starts now.
Hi, episode 73, You Watch I Listen, Week 7 NFL picks. Again, listen to our picks, listen to Taylor's betting advice, and go sign up on BetDSI.com. Use promo code YWIL, make your first deposit, 100% bonus match, and a free $25 wager, so go to BetDSI.com, promo code YWIL. Heading into Week 7. Taylor and I are tied after my horrendous week at 5-9 at 51-40-1. You had the best week at 9-5. And Josh went 7-7. Still in the lead by 4 games at 55-36-1.
I just want to say these last 2 weeks I've made a miraculous comeback. It looked like I was dead in the water. Yeah, real talk.
You got plenty of time to blow it. Don't worry.
No, you're doing it for me. So all right. So what's
both
the first
of us
game?
are in theory. You had like 10 games up 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, you were.
It's been a tough couple of weeks.
It has.
Fantasy. Real life.
I won last week.
Did you?
Yeah.
Who'd you beat?
Who did I beat? You
don't even know?
Ken?
No, it wasn't Ken.
Ralph?
Ralph stinks.
No, it wasn't Ralph.
By the way, Tyler's wedding this weekend, isn't it? Fuck him.
I think it's
it's the weekend of my birthday.
Oh, well, fuck you too.
I think it's somebody that Courtney works with.
Oh, okay.
I don't know who Courtney is. No one knows who Courtney is.
I'm 5.
I keep saying it. Fuck.
Yeah.
I'm 5-1 in my fantasy league.
Good with that fun stuff. All right, why don't we get into these picks? A couple crazy things actually happened this week. Marcus Peter traded from the Rams to the Ravens. Yep. Jalen Ramsey from the fucking Jaguars to the Rams. Yep. And Aqib Talib put on IR. It looks like Trent Williams will get traded to the Browns. That's most likely going to happen. The Ravens are still trying to get a pass rusher. And my bold prediction before the season started was that before Week 8, Marcus Mariota would be benched in favor of Ryan Tannehill, and here it is.
Good for you.
Yeah.
So 2014, 2015, 2016, Jacksonville Jaguars draft picks, all playing for the Rams.
All playing for the Rams.
Dante Fowler, Blake Bortles, Jalen Ramsey.
And guess who doesn't have draft picks for the next 2 years in the first round?
Dude, by the way,
Rams.
Yo, there's a picture of what the fuck.
Sean McVay when he's like 90.
Yeah, it's like when you finally get a first round pick.
And he's old as shit. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that trade because I don't think the Rams are in any position to make the Super Bowl. I don't even know if they make the playoffs.
Not now.
And they traded for him without getting the extension done. Very similar to how the Texans did it with Laramie Tunsil. I know they're saying it will get done, but that's a really risky proposition without a contract.
The way the Seahawks did it with Jadeveon Clowney, doesn't have an extension.
Yeah, but I know it's all risky when you're doing that. But I'm so tired of all these players that just fucking can say, "Oh, I'm done. My back hurts. Trade me." Like, what is going on? It's the fucking NBA. I don't like it. I don't like it. You're giving the player. I'm almost always in favor of the players. Like, historically, that's my angle. I want to favor the players. But in this situation, I don't think you should. When you're demanding things, and it's not even like the Jags were playing poorly. You got into a tiff with Doug Marrone, and he wants out.
It was like week 1 or week 2. It was weird. It was over something silly.
And Marcel Darius took a shot at him today too. He was like, "How you feeling before this game?" He's like, "My back." Jesus. Like, so clearly his teammates thought he was making it up. We don't know if he's going to play this week yet.
It was only a matter of time till Tom Coughlin got him out of there. I called it for after last year.
When he showed up at the money truck, you said it too. Yeah.
It's only a matter of time. Tom Coughlin didn't want to put up with that guy's bullshit no more.
Very, very strange week though. So let me get into the picks. First game involves your team, Taylor. The Kansas City Chiefs at the Denver Broncos.
That's not my fucking team.
No, I'm saying involving your team.
Okay.
The Kansas City Chiefs at the Denver Broncos. Chiefs are 3.5-point favorites on the road, despite coming off a 2-game losing streak where they lost in very similar fashion in both games. And full credit to you for calling that in back-to-back weeks. The Chiefs' formula for beating them, you know what team it's exactly like? The 06 Colts. Even though they won the Super Bowl that year, if you remember, all you did to keep Peyton Manning off the sideline is just run the ball. So go ahead. You make your pick. It's your team.
It's my team, my pick, and I'm just gonna. I just want to tell you specifically, just go fuck yourself.
Sure.
Because it's no one's at the offensive line like the Colts do.
Hey,
they can't run the ball. Carlos Hyde runs for 118 and
they
2
ran it
fucking touchdowns.
I'll eat crow on that one for sure.
After the right tackle got hurt, and dude, it's the same shit. The Kansas City's defense is trash.
Yeah,
it is fucking
they have no
trash.
linebackers and no secondary.
With Royce Freeman and Philip Lindsay coming in, I like it, but with and the thing is, with Denver's secondary really starting to kind of turn it, like the defense is starting to turn it around. Who would have thought Bradley Chubb getting hurt?
And Pat Mahomes is more hurt than they're letting on to. He's not stepping into any of his throws.
There's something wrong, and not to mention he's getting pissed off with his wide receivers. This is the second week in a row. No Sammy Watkins as well. Even though Tyreek Hill really looked fantastic.
That touchdown he had was ridiculous for his size to go up and make a moss catch
over 3 different people.
Yeah,
honestly, like it's hard, but I'm gonna go with Denver this week. I just really believe that Denver is really starting to figure it out at the right time, and I'll say it like I said last week. Kansas City is starting to unravel. Not to mention, what is Andy Reid good at? Not winning when it fucking counts. Honestly,
sure.
In a division game, Kansas City is clearly the better team, but
at home against Denver. Denver's starting to figure it out, a 2-game winning streak. I really think Denver is going to just pound the rock, Philip Lindsay, Royce Freeman, and I think they're going to do that little play action. I think Noah Fant might have a touch. Cortland Sutton might have a touch. I really think that Denver's offense is starting to figure it out, and Scangrill is really starting to get a little creative with the offense. So my pick this week is for my homies in Denver. That's tomorrow night. Let's fucking go, dude. Josh?
Fuck the Chiefs.
I'm going to take Denver as well. There's something wrong with Pat Mahomes. Like
his ankle's fucked.
Dude, he had such a bad interception where he was off his back foot in the back of the end zone. There's something wrong there.
And history favors the home team in Thursday night games.
Absolutely does. There's only been one home loss on Thursday night, and that was the Packers against the Eagles.
Yeah, so I'm just with that in mind, I'm taking Denver. Home game Thursday night, division game against a guy who's not looking himself right now.
Yeah, I want to take the Broncos, but the fact that you two took them, I'm going to take Kansas City because I got to make up ground. There's a couple things playing here. I love Denver's defense. I love the defense coming into the year. I was very disappointed with him the first few weeks. I still don't like the offense, despite the running game actually working really well. I don't think Joe Flacco's Deshaun Watson. I don't even think he's Jacoby Brissett. And I think in a game like this, I believe the Chiefs haven't lost 3 games under Andy Reid in his tenure as the head coach, which is pretty crazy.
That just tells me
it's due to happen. I don't think the Broncos are the team to do it. They haven't put up more than 24 points yet this year, correct? The Broncos?
I believe so, something like that.
So I think in a game like this, it's going to be really close. I think it's going to be a close game, but I think their inability to score touchdowns, I think they're going to settle for field goals, very similar to the Detroit against the Packers this past week. I'm not taking it confidently, but I'm going to take the Chiefs on the road. I think the average Thursday night road wins for teams is like 5 a year. We've already had one, so that means we're going to need a couple more. I'm going to take the Chiefs in this one. But not confidently, mind you.
So let me ask you one more question.
Sure.
How many times did Deshaun Watson get sacked by that?
No, he didn't get sacked
defense?
Once. I didn't say second best defense. I said second best pass rush.
I apologize.
Which they technically hit him 11 times.
But he didn't go down.
He didn't go down. He got rid of the ball. They hit him 11 times. The pass rush is still there, but when you don't have linebackers cleaning up and you don't have corners that are able to get out of their presses very well, or they're getting a release too easily, that's what's going to happen. And especially not being able to run the ball. It is the Colts 06 formula, which, by the way, the Colts ended up winning the Super Bowl against fucking Rex Grossman that year.
It's the Kansas City model, bro.
The Kansas City model. If Pat Mahomes starts getting healthy, it's a completely different story, and I take them confidently.
Sure. No, absolutely.
Of course.
Yeah.
But, it's also their offensive line isn't playing great either. So
Kareem Jackson got a pick. Chris Harris starting to step it up. I like what's happening.
Correct. But I don't trust Joe Flacco's play enough, and it's going to come down to the quarterback needing to make plays. Jacoby Brissett made plays. Deshaun Watson made plays, and I don't know if Joe Flacco can do that at this point. They've beaten bad teams, the Chargers.
Joe Flacco's made a lot of bad throws. I'm sorry we're still sticking on this, but a lot of people were getting on Noah Fant, specifically last game.
Tight end's like the hardest position to come out of college right to.
Well, that too. I mean, Noah Fant's really done a really good job. Everyone's like, Hawkinson is so much better because they both played for the same Iowa team.
Hawkinson's not doing much either.
Hawkinson has 14 catches, 210 yards, 2 touchdowns. Fant has 12 catches, 130 yards, and 1 touchdown.
Yeah, it's not
exactly
a dramatic difference.
So it's fine. And Flacco made a lot of bad throws last game, and they still won.
All right, next game is the Arizona Cardinals off a 2-game winning streak week against the New York Giants. Giants 3-point favorites at home. I'm going to take the Cardinals in this one. I like what they're doing right now. The offense is really starting to open up. Through the first 5 weeks, Kyler Murray was sacked 21 times. So the last 2 weeks he's been sacked once. He's getting protection. He's getting rid of the ball faster. He's deciding when to take off with the ball a lot better. They're getting more creative with the offensive play calling. The defense is still struggling. I think it's going to be a very, very high-scoring game. I really don't like what I'm seeing from the Giants right now. Since his opening game, where he was sensational, Daniel Jones has taken a huge step back. He's making poor decisions. He's a rookie. It's expected to happen.
It's going to happen.
Yeah, he's going to grow. He's going to develop. But to me, I like what the Cardinals are doing right now. I'm going to take them on the road to beat the New York Football Giants.
So I'm going to take the New York Giants, and a lot of it is just because I just don't trust Arizona's defense.
Yeah.
The pass rush could be there. Chandler Jones, Terrell Suggs. You got some stuff there, but
Patrick Peterson, obviously.
Pat Peterson's on the back half of his career. By the way, they're looking to shop at this point. So that tells you that Pat Pete's not really going to be all there.
You probably can get him for a third-round pick at this point.
Easy. You know what I mean? Like for a championship contender. But I just don't trust Arizona's defense at all. And I think that how poorly Danny Dimes has played, I think he's going to need a bounce back game.
Well,
he's
you're
going to have a pretty good
Saquon
game.
back this week. You're getting Sterling Shepard back this week.
So something's going to happen. He's getting pieces
options
back. And also, a big thing is just because my friend's fiance works at a public high school where the Giants just showed up to do a Play 60 event at her school. So I'm kind of a little biased there because she's also a Giants fan. So
cool. All right,
Bree, that's for you.
Giants for you.
Pick the Giants.
Josh?
I'm taking the Cardinals. Giants are kind of a downswing right now.
Yeah.
Cardinals are in kind of an upswing.
Yeah, the team started to figure out the little habits of Daniel Jones, and the biggest one being that he has a hitch in his throw, and they're getting to him a lot faster. They're tipping a lot of passes despite his size. He's got to adjust. The coaching staff has to adjust around it. Getting Saquon back is obviously huge. I think it's going to be a very, very high-scoring game. Total shootout.
I think Saquon coming back takes a lot of pressure off Dan.
Absolutely does.
So that's going to happen.
You have some questions about the workload, obviously,
For sure, yeah.
because you don't know and if it could get tweaked, but I'm going to take the Cardinals. Josh is going to take the Cardinals. You're going to take the Giants.
Yeah.
This is a great game here. The Houston Texans at the Indianapolis Colts. The Colts 1-point favorites at home, coming off their bye week. Taylor.
Excuse me. I have the Houston Texans. I don't know what's happening, but they're really starting to figure it out. Like, Deshaun Watson has played lights out in his last 2 games. Really, I just think Houston's really starting to figure it out. I mean, they're still feeling the loss of Lamar Miller, but Carlos Hyde has stepped in brilliantly. Duke Johnson has filled that void.
1-2 combo.
They're really they're really having a good time. My issue with Houston right now, and it's weird because he was a surefire thing last year, didn't have a single drop pass all season. DeAndre Hopkins does not look like himself this year.
No, he's been dropping a lot of passes. Will Fuller has been dropping a lot too. Which
by the way, in that Kansas City game, Will Fuller dropped 3 touchdown passes, and DeAndre Hopkins dropped one wide open.
Yep.
So like you take that into consideration. I mean, that score is not even remotely close last week. But I think the Texans they really have it figured out. They really have a lot of they really have it dialed in, and I think Deshaun Watson is really going to be he's pushing for MVP at this point.
Josh.
Honestly, at 4-2.
I'm taking the Colts. Coming off the bye week, they were doing some pretty impressive stuff heading into their bye week.
Yep.
Now they got the week of rest. Jacoby Brissett has really surprised me this season.
He's played
with
really
how well he's played. He's
helps when your offensive line doesn't let you get touched, really.
Yeah.
I'm taking the Colts. And I said this when they played earlier in the season in Houston, and the Colts won, is that the Texans under Bill O'Brien have never been able to figure out the Colts. T.Y. Hilton, his best games every year come against the Texans for some reason, whether it's Andrew Luck or Jacoby Brissett. I'm going to take the Colts. I think that their ability to run the ball, I think their ability to stretch the ball down the field using their wide receivers are going to be enough. I think they're going to actually get to Deshaun Watson because they have a better defense than Kansas City. And again, coming off their bye week, I think they're going to be refreshed, and I think this is a game they know they can make up in the division, especially with the Jaguars taking a big step back. They have to win this game. I like the Colts. Next game, we don't need to spend time on this one. The Miami Dolphins at the Buffalo Bills. The Miami Dolphins going back to Ryan Fitzpatrick as the starter after he came in and gave them some life offensively. The Bills have one of the best defenses in the league. They're averaging the least amount of points given up at home. It's Buffalo. It's Buffalo.
It's Buffalo, and I want to give a shout out to my our friend of the show, Khaled. I apologize for telling you to start Josh Rosen over Case Keenum.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Case Keenum did throw 2 very nice touchdowns to McLaurin. My fault.
And
this is the type of game where Fitz magic strikes. I'm taking the Dolphins.
okay, dude, listen. He played really well when he came in last week.
He hasn't had it yet, and this could be the game where he has
It's a revenge game. It's a revenge game. I don't trust it at all. By the
Neither do
way,
I,
the
but-
Bills are 17-point favorites at home in this game.
That's disgusting. No,
That's
do not
disgusting.
take that line.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm taking the Bills.
Although I will say, if you
17? Who the
17
Bills think they fucking
I think
are?
the way the Dolphins have been playing, they could cover 17 in this game.
They could easily cover 17.
So,
I
take
might.
it.
No, I would think about it.
You should do it. Just do it.
I'll do it.
If you do it,
I'm
you
not
got to
gonna.
bring me a Big Mac if you win.
How does that benefit me?
It doesn't.
At all?
It benefits me because the Dolphins win and I get a Big Mac.
I have. Hold on.
I
Listen.
love the play call at the end of the Dolphins
what?
game, and I called it tank for two.
Yeah, that was actually really funny. Yeah, you got that wrong.
Tank. No, I did it on purpose. Tank for two.
Oh, tank for two.
Yeah, they took they went for a 2-point conversion to win it, which I liked the call, but they did the worst ever 2-point conversion play.
I think I texted you about that.
Yeah.
I was like,
okay, so Josh is taking the Dolphins. The next game, the Minnesota Vikings at the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions are 1-point underdogs at home, despite in a position where they probably should have beat Green Bay on the road. The refs were terrible. I'm not denying that. The refs made horrific calls that likely cost them the game, but you can't go into Green Bay and settle for field goals. Terrible mistake, but with that said, I'm taking the Detroit Lions. Kirk Cousins has played well the last 2 weeks, which means he is due to have a Kirk Cousins game. I really like the way the Lions are playing football for the most part. I like the way Stafford's playing. I like the way they're running the ball. I like the way their defense is playing. And again, the Vikings are due. They're not going to pass the ball like they did last week all season. And the Lions have played very, very good football, and they've played very, very good football at home. They have the Chiefs on the ropes at home. I'm taking the Lions.
I'm going to take the Vikings because 2 weeks in a row, I said, you know what? No, it's not going to. Actually, that's not true. The Vikings over the Giants, everyone knew. Last week, I'm like,
We all
listen.
took the Giants.
What?
We all took the Giants against the Vikings.
No, we didn't.
Yes, we did.
Did we?
I promise you.
Okay. I had pneumonia. Don't forget about
true.
that.
Good point.
So, but like the way that the Vikings have really figured it out, and like Stephon Diggs is really starting to like really blossom as that true number one wide receiver. This is Kirk Cousins. This is what he is able to do
At home.
when he doesn't get in his own way. That's his biggest problem. He gets in his own way.
Yeah.
He's not a bad quarterback. It's just that
He's not a good quarterback.
He gets too full of himself and he thinks he's this guy. Like, you like that? Like,
Yeah, he's
he
not
gets-
that good.
He gets a little too full of
He's
himself.
a journeyman.
He would be a serviceable. He would be serviceable.
He's slightly
if he
better
didn't-
than Ryan Fitzpatrick.
He's slightly better than Andy Dalton, no?
I would say he's about the Andy Dalton because
what I'm saying.
when you look at their career success and failures, it's very, very
It's similar, right.
Very similar.
But-
Road splits, big games, division games, playoff games.
But I just think the Vikings are really hitting their stride. Let's take Kirk Cousins out of the equation, and let's just remember that as long as someone gets the ball to Thielen or Diggs or Dalvin Cook, this offense is going to be dynamic.
I don't think
So,
they can be on the road though, and that's what's kind of happened besides the Giants game. Unfortunately,
We'll see, but I'll go out on a limb and say
Okay,
the
I think
4-2
it's a
Vikings will
one-point
go
spread.
for
The
it.
1-point favorites. It's not like this is a toss-up game, honestly.
It's 1 point spread is literally a pickup.
Yeah.
At that point, doesn't
Josh?
matter.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Lions as well. Same exact reason as you. We're due a Kirk Cousins game.
Yeah, and I've said all year, I said coming in the year, I hate the Vikings on the road because they're one of those teams that's built to play at home.
They're also a dome team, so like
Yeah,
it's
dude,
it's harder to play. I mean, but Detroit's in a dome, though, no?
Well,
so that's
But you also look at like when I think about like teams that were really good at home and then they took a step back on the road, and
Yeah,
these were
right.
much better teams. You look at the Seahawks in the first few years under Russell Wilson and Pete Carroll, great at home, and they took a big step back on the road.
Right.
That's kind of who the Vikings are, with way inferior talent on both sides of the ball.
It could.
It's a pick 'em.
Yeah.
Next game, the Oakland Raiders at the Green Bay Packers. Packers getting that last-second win over the Lions. The Raiders coming off their bye week, but before that winning, I forgot who they fucking beat. The Bears. The Bears
the
they beat
Bears.
in London.
Bears beat the Bears.
Josh, why don't you go first on this one? As you're yawning.
I am going to take the Raiders.
Oh, you cunt.
You know what? Like, despite the win was kind of gifted. I didn't think that the Packers looked that great this past week. They look okay, but
A lot of drops. They fucked Aaron Rodgers a lot, and he had to go to guys you never heard of to get touchdowns. That touchdown pass he made to that kid.
Geronimo Allison?
No, the kid whose name I never heard of. He only had one catch coming into that, and his first touchdown catch, the one he hit in the left sideline.
This was Sunday
going
night,
in.
right?
Yeah,
I didn't watch
Monday
this
night game.
I didn't watch
was
this
an
game.
unbelievable pass. He had two passes in this that only Aaron Rodgers can make. These just little floaters down the sideline, and one went for a touchdown.
And
Again,
I watched El Camino instead.
Again,
I could
the
care
refs
less.
were horrendous. Couldn't.
So it's a 15-year thing. I have to
He
correct.
couldn't care less.
Couldn't care less.
Kunta care less. So you're going to take the Raiders because of the way the Packers looked.
I'm going to take them because of the way the Packers looked and because of the way they looked last time. I know it was a London game.
And no
game,
Mitch Trubisky, and it was the Bears who defense only, really, is what they are.
But they looked pretty good the last time
Sure.
out.
They definitely looked better. They're 4-2. They're not a bad team right now, the Raiders.
Yeah.
No, 3-2.
3-2?
Yes,
3-2. Yeah, correct. You're 3-2, correct.
I'm just going to go Green Bay. Yeah, it was a fluke Monday night, but Detroit's a good team, man. You can't. It's hard to look past them, dude. They should easily be 4-2 right now.
They're a tough team at minimum, but not an easy out.
I have to take a lot into consideration. Was just even though the Cowboys are turning into fraudulent. But the way the way that Green Bay handled them when they were at their peak at the time, I really think Green Bay's defense is going to just shine through here because Derek Carr stinks.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. The only thing you're going to see from
Derek Carr isn't far off from Kirk Cousins. That might be a good comparison.
That's better.
Yeah,
I like that comparison. Better. You're going to see probably a big game from that tight end Waller that you heard a lot from.
The running game for Green Bay, I think, is going to have
Josh
a huge
Jacobs.
Yeah,
but Green Bay ultimately is the better team, and I think they're going to prevail.
Yeah, I'm taking Green Bay also.
I like how we have a lot of different picks. This is going to be interesting week.
I'm taking Green Bay as well. I really, really like them. I like them right now. I did like them more than you did coming into the year. I didn't think they were going to be this good as they are right now.
I flat out said they sucked. This is way better than I
Aaron Rodgers is playing the best he has in years consistently because he's getting protection. He's healthy, obviously, and he has a running game. He has a running game, and this was without good pass catchers. Jimmy Graham is suddenly not good anymore. He's dropping everything.
He should have followed Gronkowski lead and just taken off.
Yeah, probably. Or go back to New Orleans instead of going to Green Bay.
Exactly. So this team reminds me very much of an old Pats team when they had no wide receivers, where their number one was Shea Caldwell, and all they had was Corey Dillon.
Yeah,
that's what this team reminds me of.
Yeah, and their defense is playing very well. They're running the ball better than they have since Ryan Grant, maybe.
Ryan Grant, Jesus. Ryan Grant.
Honestly, consistently.
James Starks, too.
Yeah, consistently being able to run the ball. I like their head coach. I like what Matt LaFleur is doing. He's made some creative things on the offense and allowed Aaron Rodgers to not only change plays at the line, but to stick in the pocket and do his typical, be able to run out of the pocket and make a throw 30 yards downfield. So I'm taking the Packers over the Raiders.
It's also very ballsy. He's just letting Aaron just throw it, but he's not like McCarthy letting Aaron do whatever the hell he wants.
All right, so next game, this spread's actually a lot closer than I would expect. The Jacksonville Jaguars against Cincinnati Bengals. Obviously, we just talked about the Jaguars trading Jalen Ramsey, but they haven't had him for a while now. Gardner Minshew, the shine's coming off a little bit as teams are starting to figure him out. But the Bengals are really, really bad. They're a really, really, really bad team.
And Ravens weren't good enough to cover 11.
And I don't think I think that the Bengals are good. They're not bad enough to get blown out every week, but they're not good enough to overcome and win.
I don't think they're bad enough to be 0-6. I mean, so many put you like that.
I do. Personally.
I don't think so. I really don't.
They have not been able to, and Andy Dalton, we just talked about him. He's only as good as the running game behind him, and they have the worst running game in the league right now, and it's not even close.
Which is crazy because Joe Mixon and Giovanni Bernard are pretty good.
But when you got no offensive line, it doesn't matter. You can't open holes, and I agree. I like Mixon and I like Gio Bernard a lot.
And I like that kid Alden Tate, who's actually a pretty good wide receiver.
But they got no one to throw to. They don't have a very good defense, although it's not a terrible defense. I like Jacksonville in this one. I think that the inability we saw when the Titans couldn't run the ball against the Jaguars. What happened?
Yeah,
I think the Jaguars' defensive line is going to feast. I think they're going to have at least 5 sacks. I think Andy Dalton's going to get hurt in this game. I'm not rooting for that, but I think he's going to get hurt.
You maybe out for the game. See you next week.
Hurt. I don't know for sure, but I think he's going to get injured. That's a really weird prediction to make, but it's the kind. Andy Dalton's gotten hurt a lot over the last few years, hasn't he?
I need you to give me odds on this. Oh, what's the odds he gets hurt? What's the odds
he's injured by the second quarter, and I'll put 2-1 that he doesn't finish the game.
I'll take that bet.
Okay, deal. What are we betting? A Big Mac?
Yeah, I'll bet a Big
Mac. All right, deal.
All right. So hold on. So if I win, how about this? If I win, I get.
Here it is.
I get 2 double quarter because it's 2-1.
Deal.
2 double quarter pounders with cheese.
Okay.
You get 1 Big Mac.
Deal. Perfect.
Cool.
Okay.
Why do you need 2?
Why not?
Because it's
Shut
2-1.
up. Because if you get 2 double quarter pounders,
because then if I win, you get 1 too, Dick.
All right. Okay.
It was like, all right.
Fuck
you're right.
you.
All right. So I'm taking.
Don't throw it at me again.
I'm taking the Jaguars over the Bengals. Taylor.
Jaguars better team.
Okay.
Yeah, same Jaguars.
Okay. 3 points is all they have. I like them to cover that easily.
Easy. Yeah.
All right. Next game. The Los Angeles Rams at the Atlanta Falcons. The Matt Bryant-led Atlanta Falcons.
Okay, so before you go any further, Austin Hooper, Thank you for bailing me out this week.
The only good tight end in the NFL right now.
Well, I mean, listen, I'm trying to tell you, man. I told you guys in the chat.
Shut up with your Jacob Tamme.
He learned from the best.
Too.
He's the greatest tight end never played a game.
I don't think they overlapped. I don't.
No, they did. I
did.
swear to God, they
I
did.
really don't.
I don't think they
They
did.
did. I'm telling you, they did.
I don't think they did.
I'm telling you, they did.
I don't think they did.
I'm certain that they did.
Okay,
not.
let's just look it up after.
All right,
This
fine.
is your team. You're 1-5.
Yep.
You're really bad.
Yep.
Your coach is really bad.
No,
the
okay,
worst.
your coach is really bad. You're
kick-
not really that.
No,
You're
worst.
you are what your record says you are. You're really bad. You're
Yep.
1-5. You're
Oh,
in the
yeah,
running for
really
the
bad.
first overall pick right now.
Yeah, I know. They're bad.
Your kicker is your best part of your team.
It's not true.
So who's gonna win? Rams at Falcons.
Rams. Obviously.
Any elaboration there?
No. Taylor, can you play the sound for me?
What? Because
They stink.
Oh yeah, I got you. I got you.
Okay, so while you're looking that up, I'll take it. So, yeah, the Rams. Although the Rams, I said coming in the year, I didn't think they'd take this much of a step back. I knew they would take a step back. Fucking, what's his name? Jared Goff, he only completed 8 passes on Sunday.
Yeah.
He completed 8 passes. And I've been one of these people that says Goff is good, but he ain't good like they paid him.
No.
I would take Dak Prescott
Paid
over
him a
Jared
lot,
Goff
dude.
any day of the week. Any day of the week. And Todd Gurley is not going to be in the league that much longer with that offensive line. That's for the Falcons. You couldn't find they stink. There you
we
go.
Yeah, they stink. They're the worst.
Yeah, so the Rams, we don't know if Jalen Ramsey's playing this week yet. It hasn't been determined. It seems like it's 50-50 right now. I'm
Yeah.
going to guess he plays. I kind of like the idea of them not having as many pieces because it makes Wade Phillips get a little more creative with his defense, and that's
Yeah.
when he's best. I think it's going to be high scoring. They couldn't score last week against the 49ers, the Rams. Anyone can score against the Falcons right now.
That is true.
So I'm going to take the Los Angeles Rams as well. Taylor?
I'm actually gonna take the. Actually, here's the thing: both these teams, betting, picking, I get fucked. So like,
Yeah, true.
I don't like either of them, to be honest. But I mean, if I really had to
My
pick,
cousin Vinny. Either way, you're getting fucked.
yeah, pretty much. I'll actually, I'll go against you, dear, and I'll take the Falcons.
Okay, very
I think the
good.
Falcons are due for a win.
I mean, they
are, but if you look at their fucking schedule, man, they might lose out.
I mean, like
They might lose out.
they're due for a win.
If they lose this week, Dan Quinn gets fired, right?
I fucking hope so. I was reading some fucking shit on Falcons Twitter today. This guy goes out here and he says, "We're just not doing anything right defensively." Oh, you're not? Thank God we have
saw
this
that
fucking
tweet.
defensive genius as a head coach to tell us that we're not doing anything right defensively.
I
Are
saw that
you a
tweet
wizard?
It drives me nuts. It really, really, really does. I can't wrap my head around the fact that you have a team that has Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, Devontae Freeman, Calvin Ridley, Mohamed Sanu, Grady Jarrett, Deion Jones, Desmond Trufant, and you can't win more than one fucking game. How do you do that? Those are eight guys that could be top flight starters on other teams.
Well, the easy answer is they don't really have a pass rush.
Yeah.
And they don't really have an offensive line, so they're not being able to control the ball
You
on
know,
either side.
I was thinking about it, and I was looking at some, some a little bit more in-depth offensive stats. And at first, I was like, oh, Freeman's coming back from injury. He just hasn't gotten his that killer instinct back yet.
Yeah.
And they can't run the fucking ball, but the guy is going off in the passing game.
Well,
he's
yeah,
got
it's-
6
he's got no
receiving
running-
touchdowns.
he's got no running lanes.
He's got
get him in
as
space, he
many.
can do it.
He's got almost as many receiving yards as Julio Jones does.
Well, it's proven. I mean, if he doesn't have any running lanes, he's not going to do shit. But you get him in open space, he can still go. So where are the guards?
Yeah.
Where's the center? It's pretty simple.
Alex Mack is playing hurt right now. He's been missing a lot of snaps.
And I love Alex Mack. I think he's a great offensive lineman. But
but they really don't have anything else. Like the rest of the line is banged up. They're hurt.
I mean, you gotta look. Because, I mean, your offensive core is still there and it will be for a little bit. If you really do lose out, or maybe you go 3-13 and you're in the top 3, and your first round pick has to be an offensive lineman.
No.
You absolutely
I think
have
it's
to
offensive
be.
lineman.
It has to be. That's how bad it is,
Have
bro.
to go secondary.
I wouldn't.
Well, the thing is, because coming into free agency, from what I understand, because I don't think Jalen Ramsey re-signs with the Rams.
Yeah,
I don't
kind of
think
leaning
so.
that way too.
I don't think so, because the Rams suck, and he was mad that the Jaguars aren't great.
Yeah.
And what's happening now in
Fair,
LA? You know
fair.
what I'm saying? So I'm not saying Atlanta's gonna land Jalen Ramsey. That's the first thing what I'm saying.
But they can certainly try.
Would that be the worst thing to
No.
have Jalen Ramsey and Trufant on the
Well,
other side, and then when Keanu Neal comes back,
I'm
that's a
in
formidable
agreement with
secondary.
Taylor here. Your window with Matt Ryan is about 4 years, maybe.
Less
right
than
now.
that, maybe
And
2.
That's going to be a lot less if that offensive line can't keep him upright and take some of the pressure off him. So if there is a stud offensive lineman up there, you got to take him.
If you got someone like for me, for my money, and I'm still mad Denver didn't pick him when they had the chance, even though I'm happy we got Bradley Chubb, I would have taken. Well, actually, I think I picked before that, but Quentin Nelson would have been my pick.
He was the third pick that year.
That's what I'm saying. We got Bradley Chubb at 5, but if he was still there, that's who I wanted. Because Quentin Nelson, for my money, is a Hall of Famer at the end of his career. That's how good he is.
Well, right now he's on that track. It's way too early to claim.
Obviously, it's only his second year. But what I'm saying is, if you got someone,
if that's the case, Bob Sanders should have been a Hall of Famer.
Right.
Yeah,
But what I'm saying, that's the kind of guy you need. You need that fiery guy on the inside of your line.
Because in this league, you're only going to go as far as your quarterback. While you do need secondary, you can find secondary in the later rounds. If you can find that stud offensive lineman that you could just plug and play instantly as a rookie, a corner's going to take a lot longer to develop
for sure.
compared to an offensive lineman. But so Rams, Falcons.
Yes.
Next game, San Francisco 49ers at the Washington Redskins. 49ers, one of the last undefeated teams in the league, with probably the most impressive victory of the year over the Rams, what they did to them. Their defense this year is shutting down every top wide receiver in the league, and the Redskins do not have a top wide receiver. They have some nice young ones, sure, but it's in the second. They're not playing the Dolphins. You're not playing the Dolphins. No. You're not going to win fucking 17-16. It's not going to happen. The 49ers are too good on both sides of the ball. Although there are some reports right now that Dwayne Haskins will get his first start as a quarterback. Interesting wrinkle. Maybe, but the 49ers are going to crush them. They're 10-point favorites on the road.
It's not all that interesting. You're literally throwing Dwayne Haskins because they didn't want Dwayne. Well, Gruden didn't want Haskins. The guy Snyder wanted Haskins, and now what's happening is they're going to throw him to arguably
to the Wolves,
the best defense second best defense in the NFL. Behind New
I'd say
England.
Third. I think the Saints are the second best.
That's
personally
behind New England and New Orleans.
Yeah.
But listen, it's hard for me because I thought San Francisco was going to be good, not this good.
Yeah.
But with
the way they dismantled, but I didn't think this good.
The way they dismantled LA. That's again. I said it was going to be a statement game for LA because I thought they were going to win. It was the total opposite.
Absolutely.
San Francisco is for real. The Garoppolo is for real, and I really truly you fuck yourself. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. And I really truly believe
I like him too.
I love Nick Bosa going at what the fuck, Baker Mayfield, going back to college in Ohio State.
Richard Sherman ruined all that goodwill by being a lying twat.
That was dumb. That was really dumb. Which, by the way,
and also,
this is some of the best football Richard Sherman's played since he's
playing
left
out
Seattle.
of his fucking
he's
mind.
Really good
he's
right
back to
now.
being Richard. He's back on PEDs
now. But again, San Francisco against Washington. Washington stinks.
Yeah, San Francisco's going to crush.
This is going to be.
You're taking San Francisco too.
Kyle Shanahan. Tevin Coleman, two guys that I wish were still in Atlanta.
Did you see what Kyle Shanahan said today about his time in Washington?
No.
Asked him what he enjoyed about when he was when his dad was the head coach.
Right.
He said they asked him what he liked about his time in Washington. And he's like, coaching with my dad. I asked him what he didn't like. He said, the environment. He's like, the culture, pretty much. Yeah, it's the fucking Redskins. They're the most dysfunctional organization.
It's Dan Snyder, who's the worst owner
in sports. He thinks he's Jerry Jones. Next game.
Jerry Jones won championships.
The Los Angeles Chargers at the Tennessee Titans. Titans, 2-point favorites at home, believe it or not, because the Chargers are reeling, really, really hurting from the loss of Mike Pouncey in the middle. And Melvin Gordon's been beat up. Doesn't look like Melvin Gordon, but that means a lot when your fucking Pro Bowl center's out. Chargers are reeling big time. The Titans are reeling, making the switch from Marcus Mariota to Ryan Tannehill at quarterback. And I'm going to go with my guy, Ryan Tannehill, to beat the Los Angeles Chargers at home. He played pretty well when he came in relief of Marcus Mariota. I think he went 12 for 14 for 144 yards. Marcus Mariota played almost 3 full quarters and only had 88 yards before he had a goal line interception. I think the Titans are very much like the Vikings. We've said this all year. We saw what they did to certain teams, what they did to the Browns. They come back and they lay an egg against the Bills. I think Tannehill gives them something a little bit different because he's more willing to drive the ball down the field. He's more decisive in his reads. And believe it or not, he can actually hit a screen pass, something Marcus Mariota has forgotten how to do.
Because he'll just run himself.
The Chargers aren't doing anything right now. They're starting out slow. They're coming up late and almost making it close. And I think that the Chargers are way closer to being a 6-win team than they are a 10-win team. Not that the Titans are any good, but at home I'm going to take the Titans.
I'm going to take the Titans too. I just think I keep wanting to say San Diego because it's
and Taylor Lewan is back this week, by the way, as well.
Was PED suspension or something like that?
PED suspension. Taylor Lewan's back.
It just.
Huge upgrade.
It's hard for me to say this about a division rival who I've hated for a very long time. I honestly, and we talked about it earlier in the week. I feel bad for the Chargers.
I feel bad for Phillip Rivers.
I feel bad for like a a franchise that was so storied in San Diego. 56 fucking years you were in San Diego, and ownership does the city like that because they won't be blackmailed into giving a brand new stadium. No one wants the Chargers in LA. They're irrelevant in LA.
The problem
it's
was,
the
but when
Rams.
they were there, people stopped caring in San Diego. They couldn't. Dude, like hotel businesses went out because people stopped visiting to see games because it was a dump of a stadium. Having a stadium obviously goes a long way, but there's only one California team, and that's the San Francisco 49ers. The Raiders people stopped caring. They're still a strong fan base, but they're going to Las Vegas. The Rams barely have fans. Way more fans because they used to be there.
But at one point used to be the LA Rams. At one point used to be the LA Raiders. But I feel better at the Rams in LA than I do San Diego. Like, Jesus fucking Christ, the Chargers in LA.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. No one gives a shit.
The Chargers are the redhead. The Chargers are. I almost said something really bad.
Oh, God. Buy sponsorships.
The Chargers are the little stepbrother to the Rams right now. They're playing in a soccer stadium that barely holds 30,000 people.
And they have more Steelers fans in there.
They were so
losing
pissed.
to a third-string quarterback, making his first start, and getting lit up.
Yo, they were so pissed.
Back-to-back weeks, they came out flat.
That they were playing the visiting team's home.
Keenan Allen's mouthing off on Twitter about it.
Dude, I would be too. It's just a terrible situation to be in.
Well, he's not even mouthing off about fans. He's mouthing off about the team. He's saying they were like, it's getting really old seeing the Chargers start out like this, and he said, yeah, same old shit. Like, you're part of the problem, dude. You are the one not putting up points in the first quarter. You're part of that offense that's struggling. It's not Keenan Allen's fault entirely, or even majority.
And it's not even that bad of a roster either. I mean, you still got Joey Bosa and Melvin Ingram.
I think they overachieved last year, personally.
The loss of Derwin James hurt a lot more than everyone thought.
The loss of Mike Pouncey is brutal.
You're looking at two of the biggest guys on both sides of the ball, Derwin James, Mike Pouncey. It's hard.
And that's why I picked the Chargers not to make the playoffs when I saw the Derwin James injury and how long he was going to be out.
But I didn't mean to go on that tangent. But
you're taking the Titans. Josh?
How is Tannehill going to the tight end?
Oh, he's usually really good at that. He likes going on the tight end.
Delaney Walker.
I need Delaney Walker.
Are you starting Delaney
So
Walker
are you
this
taking
week?
the Titans and hope for that?
I am, yeah.
He's actually pretty good. You know how many times he threw it to Anthony Fasano for touchdowns?
Fasano, Charles Clay.
Dude,
I'm
on enough swing in fantasy. If I have another win this week, I'm right back in the playoff race.
That means you're going to lose this week.
And because I'm embracing how bad my team has been. I changed my team name. I had a play
What's
on
your team name now?
My team name was a little bit of pun on Andrew Luck, and then obviously the Colts have had a really good luck since
Twitter world.
that. So fuck me, right? So I changed it to my team name is just 28-3.
I can't even be mad at you. That's pretty good.
That's my
Mine's
team
name is shit.
I am 1-0 since changing my team name to 28-3.
Is your team name the double entendres?
It's just my team name is just Miller Time.
Time. Okay. Next game. This is a good game. The Baltimore Ravens at the Seattle Seahawks. Seahawks 3.5-point favorites at home with the league-leading MVP in Russell Wilson.
Easy.
Taylor.
Seahawks, better defense. I think they're going to contain Lamar Jackson to an extent. I just don't think the Ravens are good enough offensively
They
to
do
go
get Marcus
against.
Peters this week, who you can plug and play because now it's going to take pressure off Earl Thomas with everything he's been doing.
It doesn't matter. Marcus Peters stinks now.
That's not true.
He had the one good year in Kansas City.
That's not true.
Was it? What are you talking about?
He's got 24 interceptions in the last 4 years, and he's one of the top 15 man corners, which is what he's going to be moving to now in Baltimore, next to Earl Thomas, who's going to make him better because he doesn't have to have as many assignments and tackling.
Yeah, he did so great in the last year and a half in LA.
No, he's a feast or famine player. If you put him in zone, he's going to suck. If you put him in man, he's really, really hard to beat. He's graded out positively every single place. He only gave up 3 touchdowns last year. He's only given up 2 this year. I think it's going to be hard for him week 1 to do this. I'm taking the Seahawks with you.
I'm taking the Seahawks.
I'm just saying, Marcus Peters. It's so easy with a guy like him to show the highlights of him getting burnt, but 24 interceptions the last 4 years. But you're also on 3 different teams in the last 4 years.
You're also talking to someone who played him twice a year for 2 years when he was in Kansas City. Believe me, I know Marcus Peters very fucking well.
And he was better when Eric Berry was on the field because you put him next to a good safety.
Yeah, but Eric Berry was great. This is Earl Thomas is
he's still good.
Is a shell of his former self,
still good,
bro.
He's still good. Look what he did to Mason Rudolph.
Yeah, well, that's bad.
I am going to go with my current Super Bowl favorite, my league MVP, and your New York Yankees second baseman, Russell Wilson, and the Seattle Seahawks.
Josh, there are a lot of things you do that piss me off, and that's not one of them. Honestly,
you guys could use him in the lineup
right now. You really could. Oh my God.
I would replace.
Edwin Encarnacion.
Can we touch on that briefly when we're done
Yeah,
with this,
sure,
please?
sure.
I'm actually like super excited about it.
Okay, so we're all taking the Seahawks in that one. Next game, the New Orleans Saints at the Chicago Bears. The Saints are 3-point favorites on the road. Bears coming off the bye week and the loss in London to the Raiders. Your division
only 3
rival,
points?
Josh, you pick first.
So I went with my Super Bowl hopeful in the last pick, and now I'm going to go with who probably is going to be the NFC representative in the Super Bowl.
Who's that?
The New Orleans Saints.
Okay, fair.
Okay, yeah.
Same.
So we're all taking the Saints.
I'm literally
yeah.
I'm gonna be like just so vague about
This
it.
is the one game coming up for the Saints besides the Panthers games that actually has me a little worried because the Bears defense is good enough to shut down what the Saints can do.
Okay.
You know, the Jaguars played really well against the Saints. Their defense, they've shown if you have a good defense, Teddy is good enough to win, but he's not good enough to get that 10, 14, 20-point victory. That's not his game. That's not who he is.
3, 7,
But
5.
I think once Drew Brees comes back, the Saints are going to be even better because they're learning how to have to win in different ways.
Well, I'll tell you what. What was it? Someone posted a video of Drew throwing a football. I think it was last week.
He's not far off.
He's looking all
And
right.
There's no push for him to rush back with how they're playing. I just think that the Bears, I don't like anything they're doing on
I
offense.
just cracked myself up because I'm thinking of the video of what's his name? Fucking, I'm ready, coach. Put me in. It's Aaron Hicks throwing a baseball on Twitter.
So we're all taking the Saints.
Yeah.
Next game, Sunday night game, division big NFC East matchup. The Philadelphia Eagles coming off the loss.
like
The Dallas
I don't like
Cowboys losing to the Jets in Dallas. Dallas are 3-point favorites at home. I'm going with the Eagles.
I'm like turning in the rain. I'm thinking about this game. Like in my betting, I don't like this game.
I'm not only picking the Eagles in this game. I love the Eagles in this game because Doug Peterson fucking called out Jason Garrett's man card and said, "We guarantee victory." He's punking the fuck out of him.
Okay.
He's punking the fuck out of him because now the pressure is on the fucking Cowboys to prove him wrong.
Okay, so I'm gonna pull a Boomer Esiason because he did the same thing.
Don't
this
touch the
morning.
money.
No, well that too. Where he's like, no, he didn't actually say guarantee. He said we're gonna win a football game. Yeah, but it's the same thing as guarantee.
The
He said we're gonna
implication
win.
was to put the pressure on Dallas to feel like they got to step up.
But he didn't say guarantee.
Sure. I get what you're saying.
I'm just being a jerk
yeah.
because Boomer did the same shit this morning. But what I'm saying is that I hate both of these teams just because I think the Eagles are fraudulent. I think that whole division is
A
fraudulent.
lot of teams are fraudulent right now.
No, but I think that whole division, even though, listen, the Cowboys to me on paper are the best team in that division.
But they might have the worst coaching outside of the Giants. and
Garrett
Redskins.
has to go. I literally feel so fucking bad for Justin. By the way, I would have met when we do our picks. Shame on Jets fans everywhere for what you did to Justin and his fucking family over the weekend. Serious.
And congrats to the person that backed Justin up because that is one ride or die individual.
For
I'm
real.
not saying names,
Yes,
but
for real.
You're tougher than him.
But facts. I'm gonna take the Eagles, even though I'm biting my tongue because this is a game where
Did you see
Dallas could get back on track because the way the Eagles played shitty defense
Did you
against
see
Minnesota.
that wonderful Cowboys stat from their loss to the Jets? NFL teams are 90-1 since 1991 when they win time of possession, total yards, turnovers, pick up 25 first downs, and convert at least 10 or more third down attempts. The Cowboys' loss to the Jets on Sunday is the one loss. You just said how bad you felt for Justin.
I know. I still feel bad.
I said that to Justin too, and he was cracking up.
It's 90-1.
Josh, who are you taking?
Jesus. Yeah, right. You don't like it either, right?
I think this is the breaking point for Dallas with Jason Garrett. I think this is going to be the.
He's got to
So
go,
on
man.
one point, Dallas needs to win.
See,
So do the
Right.
Eagles,
On the
though.
other point,
They're both 3-3.
they are
Both
in
need it.
theory better than the Eagles right now.
See, that's my thought
But
process.
Good coaching can overcome an
Eagles-
inferior staff.
The Eagles look like they're gonna get Deshaun Jackson back in this game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's big.
Take the top off the defense.
And
I am
exactly what's
very
on the big game.
reluctantly, very unassuredly taking the Eagles in
See,
this game.
Okay.
Basically everything you just said, I completely agree with.
So it's funny. We had all different picks, and in the last 5 games,
we have exactly the same.
yeah. So I'm interested to see what the Monday night game we go with.
Oh, really?
The New England Patriots. hey, listen. I don't know. You were higher on the Jets than any of us coming into the year, and they looked much better, even though they lost all the peripheral stats. The New England Patriots at the New York Jets. The Patriots 9.5-point favorites on the road.
For my money, if Sam Darnold did not get mono, the Jets would not be a one-win team.
They'd probably be a
right
500 team, honestly.
Yeah, right.
I mean, because Adam Gase, we've seen him do this before where, oh, man, it looks like he figured it out. In the next game, they fucking scored 10 points and the quarterback gets sacked 6 times.
Against New England, and New England's coming to New York. What do you think is going to happen?
I'm taking the Patriots.
Of
We're all
course.
taking the Patriots.
What's the spread?
9.5 points.
That's not even the biggest spread of the week.
No. Well, they're not playing Miami.
It's what is it? A half a point compared to what? Washington, San Francisco. Whatever. Who cares?
Well, no, Buffalo, Miami, 17.
That line makes me want to throw up.
Yeah,
Seriously, 17.
I think the Jets will cover this at 9.5. Their defense is really good, and Greg Williams called a brilliant game against the Cowboys.
Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say this. Guess what? Fuck that. I am changing my pick. I want the Cowboys because I bet the Eagles last week. If it wasn't for the
they
Eagles,
fucked you?
I would have hit not one but 2 parlays. They fucked me out of easy $1,200 last week. Fucking assholes.
Well, good.
What do you mean good?
So let me ask. So do you think the Jets have any chance in this game,
I think they have a shot.
Josh?
There's always a chance.
I think you play to. Thanks, Herm. You play to win the game.
Yeah, no,
I'm
So
saying,
you're telling me there's a chance?
Lloyd, Lloyd
No,
Christmas,
I
bro.
mean, at the end
Like
of the
a
day,
million to one.
in any division game,
There's a
whenever
chance.
you're the home team, there's a
division-
chance.
yeah.
But
Jets
the
fans crowds will be
Patriots-
fired up on Monday night for sure. It'll be loud.
the Patriots, to me,
Their offense is horrifying me. The Patriots
look better than they have in the last.
No, their defense, yes. The offense is really, and Tom Brady's not playing well.
Well-
Tom Brady is showing the first signs I've seen what looks like aging because he's missing on throws that we're used to seeing him hit. He's never, ever, besides Randy Moss, been a good deep ball thrower. The idea that he throws a good deep ball is entirely a myth created by Skip Bayless. Entirely. The stats prove this. But intermediate throws, the 15 to 30 yard pass that he can hit going down the sideline, one of the best ever. Those stats are going down.
Well, that's the bread and butter. That's why James White has been so successful. That's why
Correct.
Kevin Falk was so successful. Why do you think Wes Welker was the greatest slot receiver in the history
Yeah.
of football?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
The Jets, the
Julian
only chance
Edelman.
they have at winning this game is holding the Patriots under 13 points, and I don't think they'll be able to. Despite their offensive struggles, I don't think they'll be able to.
I do think that the Jets will cover the 9.5.
I agree with that. I think it's going to be like a 14-10 kind of game.
It could work. It's like I said, and for the reasons that